For the 600 residents of the most northern island in the Shetlands, it could be the most exciting thing since Ustfest, the annual shindig that this year offered. Among its attractions, a scything demonstration over -16s could join. The proposals are at an early stage, but if the Shetland Space Centre Limited gets its way, UST could become the UK's premier space boat with the local economy revitalised by blasting satellites into orbit. The company was set up on the island, a breathtaking island nearer Norway than Edinburgh, after it was identified as the most promising launch site in Britain, in a study supported by the UK Space Agency. A report on the project, known as SEPTA, found that rockets launched from Sakavord on UST could carry the greatest payloads into commercially valuable orbits with the lowest risk to inhabitants if the spacecraft failed and crashed back to Earth. UST is so far north that rockets lifting off from the island could fly straight into orbit without passing over populated areas, unlike those from other sites which would have to perform dogleg maneuvers, limiting the weight of the payload they could carry. From the report and our discussions with experts in the field, it is clear that the former Ministry of Defence aerial farm north of Sakavord Hill, or the old mod site at Lamberness, would be ideal for satellite launches, said Frank Strang, director of the Shetland Space Centre. The SEPTA report assessed the risks of launching from a range of sites to polar and so-called sun-synchronous orbits, which are in high demand from satellite operators for communications and Earth observation respectively. According to the document, the next best locations after UST include a site in the Orkney Islands, followed by others on the north coast of the mainland. In 2014, the UK Space Agency identified 8 places in Britain that could potentially host a spaceboat, but selection was based on sites that had extremely long runways and other facilities needed to fly spaceblaze, which take off horizontally, rather than vertically. A spaceboat in the Shetlands would launch conventional satellite-bearing rockets straight up. Pat Burns, owner of the Final Checkout Cafe on UST, said a spaceboat was just what the island needed. I think it's a brilliant idea. There's a lot of excitement about it, she said. In the past, UST has suffered from the closure of the RAF base and airport and the loss of services, from schools and doctors' surgeries to care centres. It's absolutely stunning here. We're the most northern and the most beautiful island in the Shetlands, Burns said. But a lot of the young people go on to university and once on the mainland there's nothing to attract them to come back. This could mean jobs and opportunities. A detailed bid for the spaceboat could be submitted to the UK Space Agency next year. This is potentially very exciting news for UST, and for Shetland as a whole. If the bid is successful, the project could have significant and welcome implications for the local and Shetland economy, said UST Councillor Alistair Cooper, chair of the Development Committee. Draft laws and regulations that would govern UK satellite launches and other flights have recently been passed to the House of Lords in the form of the Space Industry Bill.